Hello and welcome to this episode of Introduction to Programming. I've chosen to call it an episode just because it came to me. Today we're going to be focusing on LeetCode, and basically what LeetCode is it's a platform to learn algorithms, optimization, and programming in general. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things on this page that may be very confusing. First and foremost, LeetCode is free to use, but there are paid options to it. With Premium, you can get certain ways to learn faster than others, but that's not to say that it is necessary for your journey. So the first thing I want to take you guys to is not LeetCode, but actually a different website. And the name of that site is LeetCode instead of LeetCode. So that's LeetCode.io. So here we see courses, practice, and roadmap. We're going to go to roadmap, and you'll see this large graph. And so what it shows us is from top to bottom the steps that you should take for your programming journey. So first and foremost, you'll want to learn arrays and hashing, and it recommends these, I believe it's 9 problems. So these are just very helpful for the way that you learn, and it makes it so that you're not getting problems that you don't really know how to do just quite yet. But it allows you to track your progress in a very easy way. So I recommend using this. You can create an account very simply with Google or GitHub and track your progress once you've completed these. And when you click on it, you can actually be linked directly to the problem. So if you see here, I already have the solution. But this is the standard format. There is a difficulty to different problems, and I would say the difficulty doesn't necessarily measure how hard it is to solve it, because sometimes you're going to encounter easy ones that are really hard, sometimes you're going to encounter hard ones that are really easy. It more so depends on where you are in your learning that really determines how hard a problem is. So first and foremost, this is the first problem: contains duplicate. It tells us a few examples of the input and expected output, and has the prompt for what it wants us to do. So I'm going to restart this. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to explain this just so it's clear. You can choose so many different languages, but for now, we'll just go with Python. And with Python, you get your input nums, which is defined as a list of integers. And that's just something to make sure that you aren't getting any incorrect passes. So the problem says, given an integer array nums, return true if any value appears at least twice in the array, and return false if every element is distinct. So the way we can do that is simply storing it in some form of a hash map, but that's not necessary. There are so many ways you can do it. I can't exactly remember how I did it. I'm not the greatest at these, but if you need help, I do recommend the Solutions tab. And here you can see everyone's different ways. It tells you the languages they solved it in, and it tells you just how they've gone about solving it with either a video or a written description. So, of course, they explain the brute force method, which is just to do 2 for loops through the array to compare each integer to another. And that's not really efficient, but they just want to show a more, how do I put it, a more refined solution. And so we see here they use a set, which is Python's own like variable or object. I don't know the wording, but it basically has a distinct it stores a distinct value for each time. So what it says here is you iterate through the nums, and then if I, the current number that you're looking at, is within this set, then you return that there is a duplicate. And that's pretty self-explanatory because you are just iterating through the array once and then adding to the set after each check for a duplicate. But yeah, that's basically it. If you need other tutorials, there's plenty on YouTube, but I recommend trying to do your own solution for at least an hour before looking at other people's, just so that you can allow your creative mind to come up with its own ideas, because struggling is part of the process and that's all you can really do.